Hey guys, it's Johnny here from MTB Trail Rider. Today we're going to be going through some upgrades on the Polygon Siskiu T8. And as you guys have seen from previous videos, I've got a new partnership with NOBL Wheels. They've sent me a brand new carbon wheel set that we're going to be running on the Polygon. It's the TR37. If I haven't already uploaded the video on these, it'll probably be coming up right after this because I've already done the filming for it. But I've got another video dedicated just to talking about the NOBL Wheels, the carbon TR37. I've got the Hope Pro 4 hubs on them. So I'm going to be talking all about that in the other video. Again, if it's already been done, I'll attach a link to that up at the top. If not, it'll be probably right after this upload the next couple days once I get it fully edited. Anyways, we've already got the bike kind of broken down. I've got the back wheel already off. So what we're going to be doing is really just the wheel upgrade on this. I'm going to give you guys some weight comparisons from the stock wheels, what the stock wheels were. If you guys are looking to upgrade your wheels, what type of, and you need hubs for that, if you're going to be upgrading the hubs as well. If you're going to be keeping the same drivetrains, we're going to be kind of covering a lot of these different things and sizes that you might need. We're going to be showing you guys the weight comparison too in the drop. I think I'm going to be dropping about 1.5 pounds in the wheel sets. I'm going to take this back into the house because as you guys can see, my garage is still pretty nasty and just covered with just junk in here from our move. That's going to be a big project this summer, getting this all cleaned out and built out for bike videos so I can kind of do all this stuff with you guys someplace nice. So we're actually gonna move into the house. Gonna go into our kitchen, into our dining room area, and we're gonna be filming in there where I get a little bit more space, set up a towel or a blanket or something, and do some filming in there. So let's get to it. All right, guys. So taking off the cassette here and switching them off from the old wheels. What we got here, the stock, the Entity XL2 rims, I guess, whatever is stock on here on the Siskiu. They run the Shimano. It's got a micro spline hub on here, so this is a specific cassette. So if you're looking for a new cassette or even buying new hubs and wanting to switch over the old cassette, you need the micro spline, the Shimano micro spline specific hub. So that's different than other hub setups. It's very specific. When you're looking at the new NOBL wheels and you're wanting to get those for the Siskiu, you're going to run the same cassette. Make sure you select the micro spline hub option. It might be like a $20 surcharge, I think, on that, just because it's something specific they have to do on here. But just so you know, micro spline. It's just a little bit different than some of the others. But taking the cassette off, if you've never done this before, is actually pretty easy. For the most part, there's a standard cassette tool. You can just kind of slide this in here on the end, and this will lock this in, and then you just crank it left. But to do this, because your cassette moves, you will need a chain whip or just an older chain, something to hold the cassette still. And this just kind of wraps around here. Let me actually show you guys how to do this properly. So just get the chain wrapped somewhere just in the middle cog here, and that chain just locks on to the teeth. And then you just twist, get that top cap loose. It's a pretty simple job here. And this is what the top cap looks like. Let's take this tool out of the way. So it's just this piece here. And if you actually have a RockShox fork and you want to do volume spacers, I believe it uses that same tool to get the top cap off here, doing the volume spacers on the front fork. I did another video on how to add volume spacers to your front fork on the RockShox. And then to take this off, so the first, 4, 5 of these are individual cogs. So you'll just want to make sure that these kind of go together. If you, one thing I'm going to be doing, so I'm taking all these off, is that I'm actually going to be re-cleaning. I'm going to clean all these, degrease them, and get them looking like new again. Now, the first and second cog here, they kind of set into each other. Let's see if you guys can see that. So I've got these kind of grooves in here and the teeth there, see. So you want to make sure those kind of go into a specific locking set there. So you want to make sure those are together, and just being aware of those when you get those locked back in, so you're not cranking those down with those not being set in properly. And then from the third and fourth, the next couple actually, there are little, can you guys see this? Little spacers here that go between each one. Those do not have any teeth or anything like that. Can you guys see that? But they are different sizes. The one on the smaller cogs is thinner, and then the ones between what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, between cog 4 and 5, it's the thicker spacer. So just kind of remember that, keep those together as much as possible, and then the rest just kind of slides off together. And this is the SLX drivetrain. Shimano has the SLX, the XR, and then XRT, I think is all the acronyms. So the SLX is like the more like base entry level of these three, and then it goes XR and then XTR or XRT, whatever that is. The difference here is like the aluminum cog at the very back, which helps reduce the weight. As you get into it, the next model up does the next cog down in aluminum, and then the next cog down in aluminum. Really all that does is just help reduce weight. But we're gonna get this cleaned up real quick, and then we're gonna switch this onto the NOBL wheel, onto the carbon wheel set that I have from NOBL Wheels. All right guys, we're back. Got the drivetrain cleaned up. Look how nice and shiny that is. Yeah, so I mean, it's always good to make sure you deep clean your cassettes, especially, I mean, we're kind of in the ending the winter season. If you haven't already done it already, a lot of people will do a lot of their deep cleaning during this time. Just get like a chain degreaser, just kind of something you use during the season when you're cleaning your chain, things like that. Just run that on the cassette, get an old dirty toothbrush or something, and something, I already use this on my chains typically when I'm cleaning, so I just got this and scrubbed it through and cleaned it up really nice. Got all the individual cogs and stuff too, so that's all done. I'm gonna set that aside, get these cleaned up. And here is the NOBL carbon wheel set. I don't know if I've showed you guys yet in this video. Man, these are nice. I got the purple color accents to kind of match the T8. Micro spline hub, like I mentioned. I got the Hope Pro 4 hubs. If you guys haven't heard this sound yet, there it is. And so it looks like these are all like the same, but they're not. So there's actually like a wider one here with like a bigger gap. And so that's kind of gonna be what we use to guide these back on. So this is actually a pretty simple job. You don't need to be like a pro mechanic or anything like that to do this job. Let me point this down here, you guys see it. You do want to make sure these are going the right way, don't you? And it's got little numbers on here. Those are going to be going towards the outside, or like towards you. And so because of how these are designed, these won't actually slide in if you put them the opposite direction anyways. So, and if you remember, between those cogs, there is a spacer that goes on. And then we've got the next one here. So yeah, you don't need to be a pro mechanic. They make these nice, so you just slide them back on. It's, as long as you just remember your spacers, and let's make sure we got the right ones here. Yep. Make sure they're in. And we got the last two. And so if you remember, this kind of sits in itself, and then you want to put them on. So we are all lined up. Next is this top cap. I want to make sure all those pieces are lined up in there properly. And then you shouldn't need the chain whip to tighten this. And there's an actual tension that you should be tightening these to. All right, so I already have like the wheels, and obviously I already had these stripped down, the old tires off. We're gonna be getting the old tires back on these. I'm running the Maxxis Dissectors on these. So we're probably gonna go back out to the garage, get those tires on. There's a nice little trick that I've done another video on that I learned from Sid and Mackie on how to preseat the wheels, or how to preseat the tires on here. So it makes setting tubeless tires with a floor pump super easy. There's no stress. It's super easy. I'm gonna go ahead and do that in the garage. We're gonna line this back up on the bike. So, I mean, I'm not gonna go through all that. I just wanna talk about this. So, weights on this. Yeah, so because the bike comes with, the Siskiu T8 comes with center lock rotors. The Hope hubs only come with 6-bolt rotors. So when I did the weighing comparisons, I did the stock wheels, no cassette, but with rotors, just because I'm going to be switching rotors completely. So I wanted to see kind of what the full change is, because these rotors might be a little bit different than the other ones. So that's why I left the rotors on. I'm actually using my phone to record this. So I'm probably gonna overlay those weights here now because I can't look at my notes because it's on my phone. Anyways, I'm dropping about a full 1.5 pounds by going to these carbon wheel sets and these Hope Pro 4 hubs. So I got the Hope hubs on the front and the back. But yeah, I mean, this job adding the cassette, super easy. We're gonna get this back on the bike, and I'll show you guys more when this is back on there, and go for a ride. So what I've been enjoying most about the new carbon wheels is just how much more stiff they are. I really notice it the most in really hard corners or really quick direction changes. I feel like I lost a lot of the flex I was feeling before. It's really hard to feel a difference with just like a pound loss, or 1.5 pounds I think is what I lost in the rims. Now total in the wheels I've dropped about 3 pounds, because when I converted from the stock tires to the Maxxis Dissectors going tubeless, that dropped about another 1.5 pounds, and then now another 1.5 pounds with the carbon wheels and the new hubs. So I do notice that overall, just kind of like in longer climbs, I do feel like my pedal strokes are getting me a little bit further, but it's hard to really notice just a pound loss in the wheels just in a quick change like that. Where I notice it most is just when I'm coming around the harder berms or faster corners. I don't feel like my wheels are flexing as much anymore now that I got the new carbon wheels on there, especially since the wheels are 29 inches. They're much longer, so you can experience that flex a lot more than maybe a 27.5 wheel.